regardless of what we believe, what religion we follow, at the end of the day, economically, we want to make more money than we are making. And we all have different reasons for why we want to make a certain substantial amount of money. It could be your level of living. It could be the opportunities and opportunities that you can create for your kids or for other family members. You may want to start a business to employ your family members. But the point is, if we continue to be divided because we're watching and being essentially convinced and manipulated through social media that don't speak on our best interests, then you have to have an attentive ear and hear for those who are speaking for your best interest with your household and your community. Because once your household is fixed, then the next thing is your community. But sometimes you have to fix your community in order to fix your household. This is how things work. Okay? How you doing, Ashley? How you doing, Jermaine? This is essentially how things work. And we need to be a little more aware of what's going on in America. Like, if they make an issue socially that infrastructure of roads is a racial issue. No, it isn't. It's an infrastructural issue. But they try to divide us by giving us different topics, giving us different things to worry about. Don't you need health care? Isn't your health care bill? You're like, yeah, I need health care. But that's not your biggest problem. The biggest problem when I look at it, and I always say this in any argument, always use this, family, because they can't explain it. They will try to make up an excuse when we talk about economics and talking about reparations. They'll, well, the country can't afford that. Oh, I don't believe, because who's black, who's African American? We have a lot of immigrants over here. Then the biggest fight against reparations is what? The biggest fight is what? How's the country going to pay for it, one? Then two, do you guys deserve it? And the answer to that is, hell yeah, we deserve it. Because this is the one thing, well, those people who are getting reparations were living during that particular time. And the Japanese internment, they got $20,000 each. That was during this particular time because those atrocities and that torture happened to them. I say, okay, well, explain to Native Americans. See, family, they don't want to compare the Native Americans to what we're now labeling as Foundation Black Americans, because if we really get into the discussion, and Tariq Nasheed speaks a lot about this, about how we are the indigenous Native Americans, okay? If you go and you search Black Native Americans, you will see that there was one of the first people in this land way before even 1526. But the reason why reparations essentially started the whole talk is not from 1619, 20 enslaved Africans going to Jamestown, Virginia. No, it's around 1526 where they brought 100 and something slaves by the way of Portugal, okay, from Portugal on the way through Africa. And this was back in 1526 between South Carolina and Georgia, where they first tried to establish a settlement. But those slaves that are uprising and essentially ran off with the indigenous people that was already there. And most likely those people look like them. So they divide us on everything. Where we come from, what we believe in, sports. I mean, you name it, the division of white supremacy is very large. But the problem is, a lot of us, we're tired. Well, oh my God, here we go talking about race again. Here we go talking about this again. And I know for a lot of people, it gets very, very tiring, but that's what they want you to do. They want to exhaust you of your fight. They want to exhaust you of the issues and topics that you may bring forth. They want to exhaust you because they know eventually somebody's going to get tired, but we're the ones who cannot be tired.